Australia overnight. Now, dating in 2026 is going to reveal a big shift in the mind of many mature singles, says our next guest and regular to the program, Karina Chapman. Now, mature singles who are dating, now they're heading towards clarity and presence, emotional honesty, less ghosting, fewer confusing games. And it's not a dating revolution, it's an evolution. So to explain more, Karina Chapman is back on the line, dating coach and founder of Aligned Connections, back on Australia Overnight. Hi, Karina.
Hi, Pat.
This sounds pretty good, doesn't it? An evolution where there's less ghosting, fewer confusing games and all that stuff. Now, I'm just looking at your notes here. So tell me, is there a reason for this change or this evolution?
There is. There are more and more people who are choosing to be single longer and work on themselves. So when they've been single for a longer time, they've got more clarity on who they want to date, what type of lifestyle that they're looking for, and they've really done the work on themselves to become whole. So there's that old saying, I'm looking for my other half. Well, that's not the case anymore, because we actually don't want someone that's only half a person, do we? We want them to be whole. So people are being single longer, working on themselves to become whole, and then they're dating to enrich rather than complete.
I see, right. So I get that there's been a bit of a shift now. People are, because there was culturally, you need a partner and rush into a relationship and, if you're on your own, that's a problem. But that mindset is different now. So people are spending more time on their own, getting to know themselves a little better. So when they do go into the whole dating world, as you say, it's to enrich. It's a different approach.
That's right. They're dating more to share experiences and add extra joy and happiness and value to each other's life and be able to grow together. Whereas previously, people sometimes they were dating to fix a lonely feeling or heal some old wounds or prove their worth or whatever it might be, but all the wrong reasons. So it's really great to see that people are staying longer single, going, you know what, I better figure out who I am first and what I actually want before I head out there. Otherwise, I'm not going to know what I'm looking for. And so then they have a much different experience.
Yep.
And they've already got their own fulfilling, rich, great life that they love, but they just want someone to add to it.
They've been listening to you, obviously. You're making an impact.
So.
That's right. Well, there's a whole sort of shift there because, getting to know yourself first. Well, that's always been a thing. You attract people when you're confident, but I can see that now. I think more people are more settled to be on their own, and when they're ready, they'll make the move. So there you go, and the result is a good one.
That's right. And it's about things that you tell yourself. So if you're single and you're working on yourself and you're thinking, you know what, I'm actually pretty fabulous. I've got a lot to bring to the table. Anyone would be lucky to date me. If you're going in with that sort of attitude that, I'm so excited to find someone that's going to add value to my life and I can do the same with theirs and we can create some great future memories, then it's a whole different confidence and energy shift. And then you start attracting the right people. So you have better quality dates with people that there's possibly a future with.
Australia Overnight, Karina Chapman, dating coach and founder of Aligned Connections. So how long does it take to get to that point where, I'm guessing it's different for different people, but where you say to yourself, you'll be lucky to date me. I'm confident, I'm whole, I feel comfortable in my own skin, and all of a sudden your energy changes. So does it take time to get there?
It does. It does. Because a lot of times we've got old stories that we've been telling ourselves that are not that great and, maybe nobody would really want to date us. And when we're in that sort of energy, then we attract the absolute wrong people around us. And then that sort of solidifies. You think, there's no point really in dating because there's no one great out there. But if you're working on yourself and you go, you know what? I'm going to put some energy and effort in. I'm going to invest in myself, some time and energy to figure out who I am, what's important to me, what are my values. Actually, you know what? They're really good values. How do I think about myself? How are my boundaries? All of that sort of stuff. And so there's quite a lot that people are doing to work on themselves now. And unfortunately, it's not a 5-minute thing. So I think that's why we're seeing that reflected in the length of time that people are staying single before they think, you know what, now I'm ready to date.
And that's why it then manifests itself into this fewer confusing games and less ghosting, because that insecurity is what causes that, the ghosting, the games, all the stuff that people do. that comes from that core that is not sort of balanced in the right way.
That's right. If you've got no clarity, then you will choose people to go on dates with that really aren't your sort of people. Whereas what we want to do is once you've got clarity and you know who you are and you think that you're fabulous, because really I think everyone is, they just forget about that for a while when they've had some negative experiences.
True.
But once you know that, I'm really great and I can head out there, then it's amazing how you can connect better with people. It's like the dating world's like a big haystack. If we think of this huge haystack of men or women that are single that we've got to sort of wade through to try and find the right one, and what we're actually looking for is not the hay, but we're looking for the needles hidden in the haystack. So we want to be dating the needles, not the hay. So once you've done all the work on yourself, it's like burning the hay. So you've only got the needles to choose from. So you have fewer dates, but more quality dates.
Okay.
And that's what we prefer.
And that working on yourself, what does that look like? Going out on your own, is there any mantras you're saying to yourself that you're sort of trying to reprogram your mind and body? What does working on yourself actually sort of play out to be? Any sort of tools or tips that we can do?
Absolutely. And that's a big part of what I do with people is work on clearing all the stuff that has maybe been a barrier from the past for you connecting people. So it's really first getting clarity on your values, who you would match with well. You want to have connecting values, the same sort of ones that are important to you. And you want to have some interests in common. You want to have a future vision of life. And that takes time. So we work through a process and also beliefs and stories that we tell ourselves. If you're in the habit of saying, there's no one out there for me, um, I possibly can't ever find anyone that would match what I would want, so there's no point in trying. If we've got that sort of belief, then that's like a subconscious barrier for us to be able to connect to anyone. So it's delving deep and it can take a bit of time because they're at the subconscious level. So we're not even aware. Consciously, we're like, yes, let's go on a date and find, some great love and have a happy relationship. But beliefs in your subconscious that could have been created from childhood are what can sabotage you accidentally from finding someone. So digging deep into those, finding out what they are, changing them. And then, as you said about the affirmations, if you've got new beliefs that you're wanting to put in, it's like changing the record or changing the cassette. Um, we don't like that song, The Old Beliefs. Let's put some new in. So we've got to replace it with something that's going to support us to move forward towards our goal. And once you do that, put it into affirmations, listen to it every day, and slowly and surely, then you'll really start feeling a change in yourself and a lot more confidence.
It's not tricking yourself, is it? Because I'm saying, people might be thinking I'm just, okay, you're reprogramming yourself and these affirmations and you're going through this process. How would you describe it? You're finding the truth. If you're telling yourself stories, as you say, most of the time it's inaccurate. We are all, we all have value and we all can sort of be, as you say, not half a person, but a whole person. So you're not tricking yourself with this process, are you? You're sort of finding your way home. Would that be right?
That's right, exactly. Because when we've had past experiences that have been negative, say people putting us down, um, perhaps feeling like they're controlling us or we're being a doormat or, all that sort of stuff, it causes beliefs to happen to be stuck in our subconscious. And this can be even from when we're a kid. So that's how deep it can go. And that's why people struggle. So finding all of those and then realizing that actually, let's examine this belief. So let's say the belief is that no one would want to date me. So if I believe that because that's what I've been told many, many, many times, then I'm going to start having that belief somewhere within me. But is that supporting me to find love? No, it's not. So what belief could support me to find love that I can feel that's true so I don't feel like I'm lying? Because that's the whole thing. We need it to be true.
Yeah.
So maybe the new one is there's plenty of people that would be lucky to date me
Right,
because
right,
I'm
right.
actually pretty great. And if you think that you're doing well and you are a person of value, then you'll be like, yeah, actually, why did I think that before?
Yeah.
I actually do have value and I can add value to other people's lives and they would be lucky to date me. And there would be heaps of people out there that are single that would enjoy my company. It's just starting to, find little beliefs that you think, this can be true and changing those around. and even listening to yourself talk. It's like if you're thinking that you want to learn to run a marathon and you suddenly think, you know what, nah, there's no way I can do that. Well, guess what? There's no way you can do it. But if you think, I want to run a marathon, so instead of thinking there's no way I can do it, I think, okay, I'm going to get to be able to run a marathon if I just start doing some training.
Yeah.
Little by little, I'll get there. And then you think, well, actually, that could be true. If I did start doing some training and put some effort in, I possibly could at some point run a marathon. So it's wanting to have a new belief that's believable, that supports you to go towards your goal, and that you feel good about when you say it. So it's about how it makes you feel.
Yeah. So we're going to stop saying the other half now, because that was the thing that people would say. Where's
That's
your
right.
other half? Where, and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
It's actually it's technically incorrect, isn't it? Because it's not your other half.
Yeah, we're implying that
two
they're,
holes.
not a whole person anymore.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, I really like that. Yeah, it's a really great thing to see that people are really dating for good reasons now. They've got the right mindset. I'm already whole, and let's just see whether we're better together.
Yeah, okay. Have to give that a go, hey? Alrighty, 133693 for our listeners. Karina Chapman, dating coach and founder of Align Connections. Thanks for joining us again on Australia Overnight.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Pat.